Woohoo! Hi guys, welcome back to Loren the Amazon Princess. I'm all about doing all the personal quests right now. Look at all the love. I mean, I probably did it wrong with Ray, so we're not getting more affection there. But anyways, so we did Draco's quest, so we have all the other people's personal quests. I'm gonna actually go with Dora right now. 2, and we need Dora here. Okay. I guess we'll do it like that. Eleanor signaled to Dora that she was prepared for a trip to Grimoire to get her possessions back. They excused themselves from a camp on a lie, as per Dora's instructions. When they were in Grimoire, they went from guard station to station until Dora realized that the thing that she wanted back wouldn't be in any of them. They're carrying it around, I just know it. Carrying what around? Shh! We entered a tavern, searching for off-duty guards. Oh, there's some. A group of relaxing guards were huddled around a table covered in trinkets and baubles, and nothing of much value. They're in plain sight. Oh, I hate Grimoire's grimy guards. Is that stolen stuff they have? Yup. They call it contraband, but they're corrupt to their core. They just keep whatever they want. Is what you want on that table? I gotta get closer. Stay here and I'll go see. Eleanor was shocked to hear that Dora was going to go right up to them, but she disappeared into the shadows. She looked around the room trying to find Dora again, but she only caught a quick glance of her darting under tables. Dora's literally here. Dora eventually slid under the guard's table and stepped delicately around their feet. She slowly poked her head around the edge of it. Oh my god. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Around the edge of the table and looked over the contents strewn around it. The dwarf woman's hand began to rise to the table as if she had found what she wanted. Her fingers were on the table. They were inching closer to something a scroll of paper. And then all the talk at the table abruptly stopped. All the guards were staring right at Dora. She smiled and waved at them. Then she snatched the scroll from the table and bolted towards Eleanor. Run! What? Thief! Catch her! Battle! Eleanor didn't argue and ran. They shot out of the tavern into the streets, quickly finding an alleyway to disappear into. They bobbed through the buildings to flee the city, but the guards were on full alert by then. Did we just steal that? Dora! Eleanor panted heavily while trying to catch up with the spry dwarf. No, it's mine! I was just stealing it back! And who did you steal it from before then? Dora didn't answer. They pressed themselves against the wall as guards ran past the adjacent street. I cannot believe we're doing this. We're gonna get out, don't fuss. You there, halt! Dora squeaked as a band of guards blocked their path. They were now trapped against the wall. They match the description, get them. Dora shot a look at Eleanor. I really can't believe we're about to do this. Dora whipped out her bow and shot a guard in the blink of an eye. Eleanor readied her own weapon. Oh dear. See if we can do this. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Ow, ow. Oh, she's still... Alright, fine. Cool. Boom. Yes, finally. No? Oh my gosh, he's paralyzed? Really? Okay, fine. Fine. Still paralyzed. Right. Okay. Ow. Finally! Actually, you need to heal yourself. There we go. Boom! Okay, let's get this chief guard here. This boss guard, whatever. Ow, 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 ow. She can't even do magic on herself because she's paralyzed. Oh, man. Oh yeah, of course, she can still. Now, take that. Yes! We won! Of course we won, but still. Old spear. Okay, for real this time. Run and don't get caught. Dora sprinted away before Eleanor could recover from the fight. This time they were able to escape Grimoire undetected. Back at camp, they caught their breath for the first time. What was all that about? What did you just risk all that over? A piece of paper? Dora held out the scroll and grinned. A very special piece of paper. A treasure map. So, half the treasure is mine. Half? You said you would split it with me. Well, yeah. Not half and half, though. Fine, half if you help me get it. Deal. Lead the way. Oh, we're getting the treasure as well. Okay. Dora trekked across the plains with her nose glued to the map. They wandered into the orcish wastes. Are you sure it's this way? Whose treasure is this anyway? Some bandit leader's rubbish. Should be heaps of it, though. Dora stopped and looked around. Do you suppose it's buried? Are you saying the treasure's right here? Yeah, the map ends here. Oh, clever, an animal den, huh? Duh. Dora trotted over to a large hole in the ground and stuck her head inside it without looking first. A giant scorpion crawled out, and she shrieked. Who buries their stuff in an occupied den? I know, people who don't want to have their stuff stolen. Then let's clean it out. Oh, wonderful! Oh, this is just great. We're not even healed. This is great. Just great. Right. Yes, miss, please. Miss. Wow, you're not... Okay, actually this does just as much damage, so... Cool. Dora, though, does a lot of damage. No, miss. Ooh. There we go. Oh, she's poisoned though. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Come on, die. That was one. There we go. Okay. Please die. Oh, come on. Oh my god, so much left of its life. Over again, okay. Miss. There we go. Okay, awesome. What is best against this? Still this. Ooh. There we go. Dora. We're gonna need this at some point. Yeah, like now. Yeah, I know this is better. Come on, we can do this. There's not a lot of life left. But we need Dora to not die as well. Okay, now we can do it. Come on, Dora. Yes! Whoo! Good, good, good. Yuck, yuck, stupid critters! Okay, treasure time! Dora poked around in the scorpion den, but her face became increasingly disappointed. Where's the goodies? She yanked out her fist quickly, and a dirty piece of parchment was crumpled in her fingers. Where's the treasure? Dora, you promised treasure. Dwarf read the note with a scowl. Rats! Someone else got here first, I take it? Dear Gus, took it for my own, bull. Bandits robbed themselves. What happened to honor among thieves? So what do we do now? One thing we can do, find this filth and get it back. Eleanor sighed and shuffled her feet as she followed Dora determinedly scout for the bandits who took the treasure. Dora seemed to know a lot about thieves' nests. She knew the right code words to ask and exactly where to look for any information on Bull. I think it's about time you admit you're a thief yourself, Dora. Shush, you! Do you want shiny things or not? They finally got a lead on the Bull character and were directed to the basement under the local pub. In the smoky atmosphere, groups of thugs and bandits were laughing, drinking, and playing crude games. They noticed Dora and Eleanor's entrance, but they didn't stop their debauchery on their behalf. Hey, ordered the girls! All the bandits laughed, but Dora placed her hands on her hips. You tell the rat bull to show his ugly head, I'll start bashing him until he does. Their laughter died and a man stood up. I'd recognize this piece of work anywhere. You arse. This is a dwarf that ripped off old Gus and tried to run off with all our plunder. This made the bandits angry. They stood up and reached for their weapons. Did you really do that? Hey, don't blame a girl for getting even. Filth ripped me off first. Said I'd get my fair share of the cut and then they forget to tell me that they pack up and leave me behind the next morning. Thieves are truly honorless. Everyone, including Dora, looked back at Eleanor with disapproval. Eleanor quieted herself. Well then, I guess we gotta sell this the old-fashioned way. Boys? Come and get, I ain't scared. Wait, can't we sell this another... Nope. And we're seriously not letting me heal. Nope. Why would you? Okay. Crud. Yep. Oh. Resurrects knocked out character. There we go. Okay, boom. Gotta start attacking them or we're never gonna get through this. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Booyah. There we go. We need both our characters alive. Okay, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. No. We need this to be an easy fight because this is not working on normal. You know what? Restart. Easy. Please. Because this is not working. Oh. Oh, we can do that. More defense is good. Go. There we go. Ow, 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 ow. Still, ow, 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 ow. There we go. Okay, easy is good. Easy is good. I tried it on normal. It didn't work. We did all the other things on normal. This fight needs to be... yeah. Easier. Boom. Seriously, you did not die? Come on. You were so dead. There you go. Yes. There we go. Easy. Whew, there's such a big difference between easy and normal. Like, woot. Dora laughed as she shot arrows at the fleeing bandits. She and Eleanor had managed to clean out an entire basement by themselves. Bag of cowards. Let's toss this place. Dora was giddy as she picked the basement clean and relieved all the bandits of their items. Good haul, good haul. Dora handed a box of tobacco to Eleanor, who was only watching Dora work. Take it. Half the stuff is yours, member. It doesn't look much like treasure. Not right now, but when we turn it, we'll get plenty of coin. Dora smiled at Eleanor with some admiration. You did real good today. You'd be legend for sure if you ever went rogue. Thank you? As Dora said, when they sold the items they pilfered around town, the gold started to pile up. Even though Dora was a little reluctant, she evenly split all their earnings in half, rounding up in her favor, of course. 2,000 gold coins! What? Eleanor's blade cut through the air once, twice. The third time, it lanced forward into the gut of a foe that wasn't there. Eleanor had slain many invisible men already, but if she was going to get any better at combat, she would have to continue practicing. Even after the sun had set, the moon lit up the clearing where she practiced just enough to keep her going. Eleanor was determined to make Loren proud. You will not get better if your enemies are in your mind. Eleanor sucked in a breath, not ready to deal with Amukiki at this time. The last person she wanted watching her practice was him. And how do you train? I fight beasts and spar. That's the only way to improve. Your ways aren't the only ways. Eleanor chose to ignore him and swiped at the air out of spite. But her sword met metal instead. Amukiki had crossed blades with her. Eleanor flinched from the audacity. You dare match a warrior with a thief? I know better. Eleanor's throat tightened. That could be interpreted as a compliment. I could have hit you. You couldn't harm me. Is that a threat? It's a fact. Eleanor twisted her sword swiftly from Amukiki's and spun around to strike him directly. He parried effortlessly. Eleanor felt compelled to fight him and prove him wrong. Amukiki may have been a hero to the Empire, but he was just a man to her. One that she knew he could take on. So she tried again and unleashed several powerful swings at the gladiator, but he deflected each blow with his shield. Eleanor growled. Is that all you can muster? At least I'm not hiding behind a shield. Amukiki grew serious and raised his chin. He took his shield from his arm and tossed it away without his eyes leaving her. The challenge was heard and answered. With Amukiki wide open, Eleanor took another go at him, unleashing the very moves she had just been practicing. One by one, Amukiki blocked the attacks. And then it was his turn to attack. Eleanor was caught off guard by his quick and heavy movements. Was this how it felt to be in the ring with him at a tournament? With Eleanor pushed sufficiently backwards, Amukiki let up and basked in her speechlessness. Your lack of true sparring shows. I could train you. Eleanor quivered in rage, as if that were the greatest insult. You could learn a thing or two as well. Eleanor sprang forward to attack Amukiki, who had difficulty anticipating it. They sparred with each other briefly. With each swing that Amukiki parried, Eleanor grew more frustrated. How are you doing that? He smirked and caught Eleanor's blade with his own. Your eyes, they're betraying you. The The revelation fueled Eleanor's furious attacks, but she took note. From then on, Eleanor focused only on Amukiki's face, hopefully masking her next move. The gladiator slammed his weight into the side of Eleanor's body, almost knocking her to the ground. Eleanor did not want to admit that Amukiki was the better fighter. He was stronger, taller, and had much more experience. But there was one thing that Eleanor had on him. With a whirling of her wrist, Eleanor tangled Amukiki's weapon in his hand so that he could spontaneously let go of it. It worked, and Amukiki's sword was flung from his hands. Now it was time for the gladiator to be speechless. Eleanor smirked with pride. You look surprised. Amukiki re-evaluated her. That is the only time you will succeed with that on me. Is that so? He quickly picked up his sword and was ready to battle again, as if he was used to doing it from his fights in the arena. Eleanor felt confident enough to grant Amukiki his rematch. They did not speak again as they fought each other. Each began to sweat and grunt as they threw everything into their attacks. They were both ready to win the duel, but steadily denied victory to each other. Even though Amukiki was a superior athlete, Eleanor held her own with him. In an attempt to end it, they crashed their blades together and leaned into them, creating a stalemate. It would only end if one overpowered the other. Eleanor knew she could not beat Amukiki in a test of strength, yet she was still standing his ground, pushing against him with everything she had. It was as if the glare they were giving each other was what anchored her to the spot. The heat from Amukiki's face caused Eleanor to realize how close he was to her. A bead of sweat trickled from Amukiki's forehead. Eleanor felt her arms ready to give out, so she did the only thing she could do. Magic burst from her, forcing Amukiki away. It worked, and he stumbled backwards, allowing Eleanor's sword to swing free. Amukiki recovered as they stood apart. His breathing was deep as he reached up and felt his face. When he pulled his hand back, there was blood on his fingers. Eleanor had cut him. The gladiator then locked eyes with Eleanor, and his jaw tightened. It immediately felt unfair that she had invoked magic, no matter how good of an idea it was at the time. Without a word, Eleanor walked right up to him and placed a hand over the cut on his face. Amukiki stiffened from being touched. Healing magic undid the damage that her offensive magic had just caused. Eleanor could feel the gladiator staring at her, but she could not meet his eyes. Sorry. It was all she could say. Eleanor turned around and sped away from the moonlit clearing, completely unsatisfied with how the sparring had ended. The look in Amukiki's eyes and the feel of him on her hand lingered more than she wanted them to. What? Wait, what does this mean? What? What exactly does that mean? Huh? I don't know. But, Amukiki has 5 hearts now. So, yeah. Okay, cool for you, right? I don't know if we should try doing another personal quest, or if we should actually end the episode here. I mean, we have 6 left. I thought we would be able to make, do 2 each episode, but okay. Oh, actually, maybe we'll be able to. Oh yeah, right now I have everything on easy though. Normal, thank you. Okay. No, you know what? Let's do another one. Let's do Amukiki's just because for funsies. We need to have Eleanor and Amukiki. There we go. That's better. Eleanor prepared to search for Amukiki's clan with him. Loren gave her two bodyguards permission to leave, knowing both would see that they each returned. Amukiki was usually only burdened with his weapon and armor, but now he was carrying a heavy-looking bag on his back. What is that? Food. The nomads have fled north out of fear and have left their herds behind. Amukiki was worried for his clan, even though they had shunned him. Eleanor thought about what Amukiki meant to do once he found his clan as they left camp. They knew that they would be spending several nights asleep in the fields. The plains were expansive, but you could see far. No nomads were in sight. That night they made a fire. Amukiki opened the sack of food and shared it. They had been mostly silent the whole time, but Eleanor had questions. Why have you told no one of your exile? It is not necessary to know. How was it necessary that I know? Amukiki paused. You questioned my loyalty and pride. You needed to see that I am deep in both. You are very prideful indeed. Amukiki's brow furrowed. Behind him, Eleanor spotted movement. Shadowy figures were creeping up on them. Watch out! Eleanor sprung to her feet and tossed Amukiki's weapon. The gladiator grabbed it and spun around to meet their attackers. The orcs screeched from having been discovered, but charged them anyway. Unfortunately, they did not know what kind of battle was in store for them. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, Amukiki. Go Amukiki. Go Amukiki. Amukiki with all his HP. I'm loving it. Yeah, you can't do anything right now. No. Just protect yourself. Defend yourself, whatever. Boom. Oh. There we go. Yeah. First battle won. So much XP, it is crazy. The orcs were slain. It was only a small group, likely on patrol. No more fires, or more will come for us. Mukiki bent down and inspected the ragged clothing on the orc corpses. He touched their weapons and accessories with horror. What's wrong? These were made by nomad hands. Mukiki stood up and looked back at Eleanor with unmasked fear. They're preying on the clans. Eleanor steeled herself. There would be no rest tonight. Let's go. They took off from their campsite and spent the night and the morning traversing the plains as efficiently as they could. At last they saw a horde of orcs and heard faint screams. They ran for the orcs, even though they were still so far away. The orcs were more than happy to wait. Hey, orcs, get out of there! Stop picking on the clans. Boom. He has to protect himself. Eleanor. Kiki. Kiki. Eleanor. Almost on Amukiki. Eleanor. Amukiki. Amukiki. Yeah. You won again. When the orcs were cleared, they saw all that remained. People of a barbaric culture were strewn across the field. Stop calling it barbaric, seriously. This nomad clan did not survive. Amukiki was speechless. They desperately searched each person, but found not a single survivor. The gladiator could not contain his despair any longer and fell to his knees. Eleanor's throat went dry as he watched Amukiki tightly shut his eyes and shake. Eleanor felt the stabbing pain in her chest, just above her heart. The sight was not comfortable to watch by any means. The silence was filled by the sound of an army coming over the hill. But it was not an army. It was another group of nomads. It looks like Russia, or whatever her name was. They were shocked to see the bloody field, and then enraged. Amukiki rose to greet them, but the nomads assumed that they were responsible for the slaughter. The nomads attacked for vengeance. Holy crap! No! No! No, 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 wrong, 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 wrong. We don't want to kill any nomads, come on. Oh, man. Maybe you shouldn't judge so quickly. Just a thought. Turtle ice. No. Oh crap. I should have healed him earlier. There we go. Oh man, why do we have to fight nomads? We are here to help! Eh. We're just here to help. Heal him a bit before the next fight, if there is one. I'm thinking. Really? You missed? We won, but it was against nomads. Like, that's not fun. Loud and repetitive grunting slowed the attacks of the nomads, and they started pulling back as even more nomads came over the hill. Amukiki acted as a shield to Eleanor, protecting her from the great mass. The grunts were coming from the largest man in the group. He stopped, and the warriors returned to the top of the hill. They stared at Amukiki and Eleanor for a very long time. Amukiki finally understood. We must leave. He led Eleanor in the opposite direction of the clan and traveled to a safe distance. This allowed the clan to deal with their people. They recovered the dead bodies and prepared them for traditional nomad burial. Eleanor and Amukiki watched for many hours as the clan gathered stone to cover the bodies. Even though Eleanor had seen enough, Amukiki was not moved. He stood on the hill and watched the nomads ever intently. In the valley, she could see that they were being watched as well. Some warriors kept a close eye on them, but so did a few children and an older woman. While Amukiki watched, Eleanor retrieved the sack of food that Amukiki had dropped a short while back. Do we give them this now? Amukiki took in a long breath. Yes, all of it. But I cannot go. Amukiki gently took Eleanor's hands and opened them so that her palms faced outwards. Approach like this. Eleanor could hear the frailty in the gladiator's voice. I will. Eleanor slipped the food onto her back and walked slowly down the hill towards the nomads. Those of them that were watching grew defensive, and some children ran away. About halfway there, the older woman that was watching started to grunt in panic, stepping backwards. The largest man in the clan was quick to find his way in front of her. He protected her in a similar fashion that Amukiki had just protected Eleanor. She was sure to hold her hands open to show that she was weaponless. I come in peace. They did not attack. Eleanor was afraid to move again. Instead, Eleanor retrieved the sack of food and opened it. A small group of nomads slowly advanced to see what she had brought. By now, the entire clan had stopped to stare at her. Inside the sack was fruit and dried meat. The nomads' eyes lit up at seeing food, as if they had not had any for a long time. Eleanor noticed that the older woman and her mate were still glancing at Amukiki upon the hill. The small boy clinging to the woman's leg, however, was still looking right at Eleanor. Eleanor looked over his shoulder to see... I like how they're switching the pronouns everywhere. Okay. To see Amukiki waiting upon the hill, but his forlorn look was clear even from this distance. Eleanor looked back at the nomads. He misses you very much. Their eyes grew sad. The warriors took the sack of food, and the entire clan gathered around it. The largest nomad still stood silently next to the woman. Eleanor felt that her time was up, and that they had done what they came for, so she turned to leave. You. Eleanor was surprised to hear the large man speak. Give. He pulled off a mighty shield from his back. He looked at it once before thrusting it at Eleanor. Give to who? Amukiki. Eleanor smiled and took the shield with a nod. She traveled back up the hill and presented the shield to Amukiki. Why do you have this? They miss you too. Amukiki took the great man's shield with awe. It was battle-worn and primitively made, but hieroglyphics adorned it to show that it meant much more than just a shield. Amukiki finally took his last glance at the nomads as he put the shield on his back. The large man and the woman turned away to share in the food. Amukiki started walking away with much effort. Eleanor walked beside him. "And you have a brother." Gladiator slowed to a stop. Then he looked over at Eleanor. His eyes were full of longing, but at the same time with content. "Likely just as prideful." "I hope so. It is time to return." "I have your back." Eleanor had not appreciated how far Amukiki had come from his roots. Though he rarely spoke, he spoke fluently. And after meeting the nomads, it was clear why Amukiki would be offended to learn that his people were called barbarians. They did not live like the rest of the world, but they were as rich a culture as any other. On their trip back to Loren, Amukiki told Eleanor the whole tale of his life after exile. He was seen as an inferior brute and worked demeaning labor for no pay. But the times when Amukiki spoke of the gladiator arena showed how much he valued that part of his life. It was likely the only way he garnered respect from the Empire, so that would explain why he worked so hard to maintain it. Eleanor felt she had truly come to know Amukiki and why he was so steeped in pride. Because without it, Amukiki wasn't his parents' son. It still made Eleanor wonder why Amukiki felt he could tell her something he considered so private. "You've received his shield of the bear." Oh my god, Amukiki! But it's also a he has a very, very important story about, and all of them really, about clashing cultures, and don't judge another culture before you actually know anything about it. Okay, back to the camp, where there's gonna happen things, apparently. Karen was sitting by the campfire in her usual regal way. Eleanor was fearful of approaching her, taking quiet, tiny steps towards her. She was only a servant, after all, and the wrath in the queen's eyes had not left her memory yet. In her hands she clutched a wooden and straw ornament fixed with leaves and acorns. It was unattractive to the common eyes, but Eleanor knew that what it stood for made up for appearances. Now standing behind Karen, Eleanor made up her mind to finally address her. It took most of her willpower. Your Majesty." Karen straightened, but did not turn round. "What is it?" Humbly, Eleanor shuffled from behind Karen and stood in front of her. She bowed her head and held out the craft in her hands almost too abruptly. Karen leaned back in surprise, and silence filled the space between them. "This is a charm. The elves at the citadel had them hanging where they slept. They taught me that it is a sorrow ward. It's supposed to chase away sad thoughts." Karen's eyes fell from Eleanor's and surveyed the trinket. "I made this. I tried to mimic their design, even though I'm sure it's not perfect. It was supposed to be a gift to you, but I know you would not accept it, so I will hang it from the tree closest to your tent in hopes—" "No." Eleanor swallowed, realizing just how nervous she truly was. "If it is my charm, then I should hang it in my tent. Isn't that how it works?" She was almost too stunned to respond. Eleanor managed to nod fervently, letting a smile escape. Saren took the sorrow catcher from her hands and turned it over curiously. "I had seen these around the citadel, and I have always wondered what they were. The elves made them, you say?" "Yes, mistress. They are an ancient custom of the forest elves." "And you made this one?" Eleanor stood straight with pride, smiling widely now. "Yes." "Then I am sure that it works." The generosity of the statement was nothing that Eleanor had expected, and she felt her face flush almost immediately. "Well..." "The Amazons have a custom as well. It is said, if you see a black moon beetle, you will have good luck in battle." She held up the sorrow ward and smirked. This looks just like a black moon beetle. Truly? I had never thought it would look like anything pleasant, let alone such a good omen. They stared at each other for a moment and then burst into laughter. They laughed deep from the pit of their bellies. Karen's laugh was refined, but oddly melodic. When their laughter died down, their smiles could not be moved from their faces. It is already working. Karen stood, and Eleanor almost lost her breath from her height. Thank you. Think nothing of it, my queen. Karen gave her a look of the shoulder before retiring to her tent, where Eleanor was safe in the knowledge that the ward was being hung. The thought made her happy, giddy even. She smiled all the way to bed. That was the last heart in Karen's affection. Oh my gosh. So much affection. So much affection. Loren left and, I don't know if, we screwed up her Ray, basically, but it's all cool. Alright. Now, we're gonna break for this episode, and next time we're gonna continue with some more personal quests. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see ya.